Prior to Master Chief's hotly anticipated 2012 return, 343's First sees them revisiting the earth-shattering series opening in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. As opposed to stretching for a fully fledged redo of the beloved First campaign, the developers instead gone for a vast visual update with some brief additions here and there. Said graphical upgrade is a striking one, albeit one subject to some glaring roughness. Impressively, there's an option to flick between the new and original looks instantly in real time, although this has been somewhat of a double-edged sword. It means the dated in-game animations have remained almost entirely untouched to accommodate for the feature, and this does not bode well for the aesthetics. We'll get some laughably aged lip-syncing during cinematics, which is topped off with some patchy voice work. The general narrative hasn't lost its edge at least, and the newly remastered music is absolutely stunning. Thankfully, the gameplay at its core fares better. 343's bold choice to stay true to the formula of Combat Evolved soon becomes understandable, as largely it remains as enthralling as it was back in its day. At its height, venturing the ring world is still a hugely absorbing experience, with the complements of some very satisfying shooting mechanics. With all the pros of the original, come also its inherent flaws, however, as some of the overworld's layouts, for instance, are mind-numbingly repetitive. Other faults include some unfairly cheap deaths and awkwardly dispersed checkpoints. In terms of new content contained within the missions, there isn't a tremendous amount to go into. Hidden terminals that grant access to some interesting and insightful extra cutscenes make up the bulk of it, along with a small handful of Kinect exclusive features. Gimmicky voice commands that serve no practical purpose whatsoever aside, there is a Metroid Prime-esque analysis option, enabling you to scan and catalogue your surroundings into a library of information. Both of these are nice touches that help soothe the unshakable aginess of the rest of it. More on the flip side is perhaps its most substantial of additions, cooperative facilities with Xbox Live support, although with a disappointing lack of matchmaking. Attached via one sluggish, disconnected UI is the meat of Halo Anniversary's multiplayer department. Avoiding the further segregation of its user base, the Tiles Online suite controversially comes lifted from last year's Halo Reach, complete with remakes of maps from the first two games. It does of course initially feel like an opportunity missed, though the end result is still rather entertaining. With playlists emulating the mannerisms of the original multiplayer intact, it manages to not only provide the quality online experience players have come to expect from the series, but also cater to fans new and old. Map designs are predominantly top-notch, and the immeasurable flexibility of the Halo format as always means plenty of variety. Nevertheless, even without this being a full-price game, it never begins to be as satisfactory as past editions. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary isn't just light on content, it also presents itself in a manner without draw or staying power. I can't deny it left me giddy with nostalgia once or twice, but before long it simply failed to hold my attention. As a whole, it's an amusing romp, though one that just isn't compelling enough to stack up with its competitors. Time hasn't been too kind to the main game much at all, and despite it being far from poor, the multiplayer feels absolutely tacked on. The game forms an adequate celebration of Halo's accomplishments over the past decade, nonetheless one strictly for the most diehard of fans.